Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another episode of Cookmas, where every day in December I'm sharing a new recipe with you. Today's recipe is for cream puffs. So my mom started out with her baking powder, some salt and some sugar, and she set that aside in a bowl. Then you take 1 cup of water, 1 stick of butter, and you're going to bring that to a rolling boil. So I kept stirring the butter until it melted. And then eventually it was boiling super fast, so I added in the mixture from before and a cup of flour. It's kind of a weird process, and pretty quickly it starts coming together. You just want to keep stirring it really fast until it can form a ball. You'll know it's done when it starts sticking together and everything is well combined, and you can also turn off the heat at this point. And every time my mom makes this, she's made it so many times, and she keeps saying, it doesn't look right, it doesn't look right. But it always turns out good. It's just a weird process if you're not used to making cream puffs. So then you're going to add in 4 eggs, 1 at a time. And here it goes back to looking weird again. But by the time you add the 4th egg, it actually looks like pastry dough. So you're good to go. It's just a very strange process. And for whatever reason, she was going to use the blender, the mixer, but she said that in the past she remembers always using a wooden spoon. Not quite sure if that matters or not, but that's what we ended up doing the last couple times we've made it. Then she got tired mixing, so I took over and I mixed it a lot quicker, and it came right together. It's nice and thick, and it looks like something you can actually work with now. So then we preheated the oven and put a piece of parchment paper on our baking sheet. And it says to drop it by heaps. And we make pretty big ones, and this makes exactly 12 if you make them as big as we do. And my only tip would be to drop it like an actual heap. If you kind of lay it flat, it will bake kind of flat. And you want them to stick up a little bit so they don't look so deflated at the end when you have to let the steam out. So here's what they look like after baking for about 25 minutes. It says to poke a hole on the side of them to let the air out. They will deflate a little bit, but that's okay. This also helps them cool. And you can tell they're done because they're light brown. They're not burnt, but you can pick them up. They're real light and airy. Then you make the filling. 2 boxes of Jell-O mix. Couple cups of heavy whipping cream. We add vanilla extract to ours, but you can also use like orange extract or a different flavor extract if you want. And then we're going to add a cup of milk. And we're going to beat that for 2 minutes till it's really nice and thick. And when that's all mixed together, you can set that in the fridge until the cream puffs have completely cooled and you're ready to fill them. So my mom always cuts them in half to make like a clamshell, and then she opens them that way and then shoves a ginormous spoonful of the filling in there. And she uses this very unnecessary sharp knife to do it, which you definitely don't need to do. We're not professionals here. We just like baking things. And I did one with this knife, and I'm like, I don't know how you're using this. This is just so dangerous. So at her house, she doesn't have like cheap serrated knives. I live with those things. Like, I use them for everything, and I couldn't find one. She's like, oh, we could use this. Like, no, that's not safe, but okay. So here's me filling one. And like I said, it made 12 pretty big ones. And then when you're done, we transfer them back to the pan, which was completely cooled. And then we sprinkled them with some powdered sugar, and that is it. These are so good. So delicious. Sadly, only made 12, and they only lasted maybe 2 days. We ate them all. My brother, I think, had 3 of them. They're just so good. So if you guys would like to follow along, check out the description box below for the full list of ingredients and directions. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.